Hey you, look at this. Or rather, listen to this. What goes through your mind when you see this? Nothing, right? Well, what about now? That's the power of audio. It's invisible, but it shapes the way that we see the world, pulling us from our screens into the world unseen. Audio is an aspect of video games that we tend to overlook a lot. But why? Audio is actually a really big part of immersiveness. Movie producers know this very well and take full advantage of that. But what is audio and what does it consist of? One of the first things that might come to mind, but may not be the first thing that you actually hear, is music. Music isn't just background noise. It's the emotional heartbeat of the game. It's a piece of the puzzle that can help set the scene for the immersiveness of the game. In this clip, what do you hear? Well, ignoring all the sound effects and other little things, the music in the background really helps set the scene for this area, giving off a calm, relaxed feeling, almost getting you, as the player, ready for adventure, which is exactly what Breath of the Wild is. But now, let's look at this example, or rather listen, I guess, to it. See how the music ramps up as you get ready to fight? Cool, right? It's as if the music is telling its own story. Music tells us a story that visuals alone just can't. I can't simulate that ramp up right after the dialogue, in between the dialogue and the fight, without that music. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm no music expert, but as a general rule, you can mix up tunes and combine different instruments to almost get an infinite different amount of variety, making every level, every scene, have its own story. Now, sound effects are also pretty cool. Take this for example, a simple slash effect. Note, this is also from my game, SoulForge. I just released the demo on it on Steam. Go check it out. Go click it. Go. I know the game is shit, but try it anyways. Anyways, you'd think that there's a lot to it. Well, there kind of is and there kind of isn't. Well, when we have a simple slash effect, there's a lot we can actually do to it. But there's actually a small problem when adding a small effect like this, especially when we have a combo attack. Can you guess what it is? Well, the issue is the sound just gets repetitive. It sounds shit. Right? You hear the same effect over and over and over and over again to the point where you get bored of it. So how do we fix this? Well, we could make 200 different sound effects, then rotate through them randomly, I guess. But that's kind of stupid, and there's an easier way of achieving a similar effect, which is to play around with the pitch. So for example, if we look at Kratos' axe right here, it's not just one sound, it's layers of audio pitched to match the movement, giving an actual feel to the weight and the momentum of the sword swing. Now, I'm trying to do that too, but it's a little harder than it seems. We gotta actually play around with the numbers. Okay, but that's cool, but it doesn't stop there. There's more that we can do with sound effects. Spatial audio, for example. In Hellblade 2, the audio is placed around your head, creating intense psychological immersion. This gives you the illusion that you're actually in the game rather than sitting at your computer controlling some random character. Another example, in Dead Space's remake, they shift the audio depending on the heartbeat and environment, making you feel his fear. Honestly, sound effects are just really cool, and when they are actually applied properly, the immersion is unreal. And you can see it, I think the best example are in horror games and horror psychological games. You really feel like you're there, and that's why you get spooked all the time. Well, not me, I'm fearless. One of my favorite aspects of audio in games is voice and dialogue. Ever since Wizards 101, this old guy, he's my favorite. I love this guy. This was my favorite voice actor growing up. But voices are more than just speech. They're a gateway to empathy and many other emotions, of course. Games like Hades apply it pretty well. But if you look at The Last of Us, they adapt the vocal intensity based on the player's condition, subtly communicating stress between you as the player and the player you're actually playing, which is just beautiful. Now that's cool, and that's a little more advanced, I'd say. But one other thing that's pretty common that you kind of see a lot is voice processing. This is something I just discovered recently, so I'm no expert on it, but we all probably know of it. Think of like Rost or Aatrox or Nefiri. Those kind of characters from League, when you hear their voices, obviously the natural voice, that's not the voice actor, right? That's the voice actor plus a bunch of other voice processing things happening to it. And it's pretty cool because you can take the original voice and you can still hear the original voice, but it's kind of not in the background, but it's almost, it's just processed. That's what it is. They basically duplicate this voice on top of a few other tracks and then add some different effects to each one. One of the most common ones is pitch. I've talked about this quite a few times, but pitch is just, it's able to make it either higher or lower depending on the voice you're trying to go for. So if you're going for a more evil voice, you lower the pitch. If you're going for a more high pitch, I'm gonna be honest though, I've never seen anyone do a high pitch for a character. Maybe like Lux or something, I'm guessing. Maybe, I don't know. Now that we've mastered all forms of audio in the last, I don't know, 4 minutes, let's talk about something that we kind of skimmed over a few times: directional audio, or AD audio. This is the part of audio that actually immerses us, right? I kind of skimmed over it a few times in a few different games, but it's really, really important. Let me introduce you to this new game that you've probably never heard of. It's a completely audio-based game. It's a detective game, and it's called Unheard. It's actually really good. But trust me, you probably are thinking, what the fuck? What is audio-based? That's stupid. Trust me, try it. It's so good. It's surprisingly engaging. The idea is that you listen in on conversations and figure shit out, basically, based on those conversations. It's a detective game, right? So gotta use your brain a little bit. And the audio in this game is just done so beautifully that, like, I love it. I have no words. I'm just gonna play this clip for you guys.
Would strongly advise against that.
Anybody in there?
Who the fuck's out there? You get in here, you cocksucker! I'm gonna kill ya! I'm gonna kill all of ya!
I must warn you, this patient might be dangerous. He suffers from episodes of acute
When you
mania
hear them
and
talking,
violent
it's not just coming from one
psychosis.
direction, right? Because it is. You hear them from one side, which is cool, but that's not all there is. They also add effects to it. So if you're listening behind a door, you'll hear as if it's muffled, etc. Right? So they add so many cool different effects. It's honestly just a beautiful game. Just trust me, try it. It's such a good game. I'll link it down below. Go try it. Here is another important application of directional audio. Listen to this. Where's the monster coming from? Yeah, that's right. Behind us from the right. It's really cool. Like, you know where the monster is despite not seeing it, right? It's very similar to CSGO, right? This is a very common application of games to know where something is depending on the sound. It's mind-blowing. Now, audio isn't always noticed though, mainly because a lot of the times when I enter a game, that's not my fault though. Anyways, great audio isn't always noticed, it's felt. No more green screen. You guys can see how messy my room is. Anyways, next time you guys are deep in a game, try closing your eyes and see if you can actually immerse yourself in the game and feel the world around you. And if you can, thank the audio gods, man. Those guys seriously deserve more credit. Now, if you guys like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. You know, go click that button down there. It's down there somewhere. Until next time, keep your ears open. See what I did there? I did an audio joke.